Okay, Shalom, Shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Kohoyim La Yahweh. Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Chahachdash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the Akim and Akwath. That's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, to the best of their ability. This is Yachnan Awaf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And I have the copyright disclaimer up under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute. By copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing non-profit education and personal use. Tips to balance in favor of fair use, right? So let me I'm gonna want to turn on the do not. Okay, so I want to play this quick video with the king over in England or whatever, you know, and just nasty work. Let's get it real quick.
Peace be upon you all. Ramadan Mubarak. It is so.
Salakia. Just trying to back it up a little bit. But basically it says, Charles quotes the Quran and thanks Muslims for enormous contribution they have made and are making, right? So he's quoting from the Bible, but he's talking as if this actually comes from the Quran.
Peace be upon you all. Ramadan Mubarak. As Muslims across the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth observe the beginning of the holiest of months in the Islamic calendar, the month of Ramadan, I just wanted to convey my heartfelt best wishes to you all, and to tell you just how much my wife and I are thinking of you at this special time of year. As this would have been a joyous time. Mosques would be filling with life, Muslim families would be coming together to share food and prayers, and many of them would be inviting their neighbors and friends of all faiths and none to join them. My wife and I can only offer you all our kindest and most special wishes, and stress just how greatly the contribution of Muslims to the life of the United Kingdom is appreciated and valued, embodying the Ramadan spirit of charity and selflessness. As the Quran says, God does not burden any soul with more than it can bear. We hope that you have a blessed and fulfilling Ramadan. Peace be upon you all. Ramadan, as the Quran says.
Okay, so you can clearly see what he said. You know what I'm saying? That's the scriptures, man. That's the Bible. You know what what he's quoting. But you know, Islam, they have a lot of plagiarism going on as far as the scriptures. Let me grab it real quick. Okay, so he's saying the Quran says that the Lord would not, or basically, I don't know what God he's talking about. I'm assuming he's talking about the Allah God, because you know these people don't believe in the Lord anyway. Look at this guy. This is a real Edomite. Scriptures talks about how Esau came out red. And now they call themselves white people. Now his hair is, you know, hoary and white. You know what I'm saying, type of deal. But look at this guy, man. Look at his fucking face. This is a full-fledged Edomite. Okay, but let's get a couple of these scriptures real quick. Matter of fact, I went into ChatGPT as far as that scripture that he was trying to quote. Salakia kind of got rid of it. Well, it's a couple, it's like 3 of them, really. Salakia, bear with me real quick. I'll get it back up. Okay, basically, this is 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. It says, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. You know what I'm saying? So this is pretty much overall about what he's quoting. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, okay, bet. Ooh, got a gang of precepts in there. I mean, that's the scripture overall that he's quoting, though. Let me see. Because the Lord, He won't place more on you than you can bear, you know. But he's trying to associate it with the Quran, you know what I'm saying, which is a damn, you know, it's pretty much overall it's just plagiarism of the Bible. And isn't this guy supposedly a Christian? You know. Matter of fact, let's get that on that guy. Let's see. Okay, so I asked GPT, is Prince Charles a Christian? It says yes. King Charles III, formerly Prince Charles, is a Christian. He is a member of the Church of England, which is a Christian denomination, and as the reigning monarch, he serves as its supreme governor, a role traditionally held by British kings and queens, right? Which we didn't have no queens. Queens are not scriptural as well, you know what I'm saying? Queens are, going to the original word of queen, that it goes into prostitution, or a prostitute or a whore, basically. You know, the woman is in the backdrop, just, hey, we didn't have no queens. You're not running nothing. But the kings, but this guy, he's a Christian, you know what I'm saying? And you can just clearly see that these people are not really about the scriptures, man, because you're not supposed to be dealing in that manner, Can two walk together unless they be agreed, or not to have no other gods, or even be mentioning them, in no reverence or anything like that, as far as like the commandments in Exodus chapter 20, the 10 commandments, the Lord said he'll have no other gods before him, you know what I'm saying? So here you go, you got a main guy complaining to be, basically he's fronting like he's an original king, which they, are all Edomites takeovers, and just pretty much plagiarists in general. He's a plagiarist. His whole identity is false, but he's there. And it's all set up by Yahweh Shemel Shai. But you can clearly see this guy, he read as hell. This is an Edomite. I don't know why I keep doing that. But this
as the Quran says, God does not burden any soul with more than it can bear. We hope that you have a
now maybe these people are not biblical. They're not really into the scriptures anyway. So maybe he's confusing something. But I'm not sure if that's actually in the Quran. You know what I'm saying? It could be, because I know that there's a lot of stuff from the Quran that's actually from the Bible. They quote. I mean, it's just plagiarism in a lot of senses, and then they added their own little twist and their own little things to it. But I know that what he's quoting right off, that's biblical. That's in the scriptures. But why are you, as a king, talking about a whole another religion when the scriptures says that clearly the Lord will have no other gods? Have no other gods before before the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai. And Salakia, they don't actually believe in the scriptures. That's exactly what's going on. This guy don't believe in the scriptures, man. Look at this dude. He looking like he crying. He look like he bought out of here, man. And this is really the fall of Esau's kingdom too, because there was a point where, this never would have been. But I'm sure they, he's probably trying to save face for a lot of those places that they conquered. You know what I'm saying? Because matter of fact, you know what? Let me ask ChatGPT something real quick, because I'm not sure how many countries they're over as far as Islam. But let's just put in how many countries. I'm just gonna put in Islamic countries, basically. Is Prince Charles over? Or King Charles, right? I keep saying Prince because he was a prince. Fake ass prince. Let's see here. It says the Commonwealth. King Charles II currently serves as head of state of 15 independent realms. None of those 15 are majority Muslim or widely considered Islamic countries. In short, zero. Uh, if you like, I can check how many majority Muslim countries are part of the Commonwealth. Okay, yeah, let me see. Because they've been losing a lot of ground. Damn it, they've been losing a lot of ground in a lot of those countries. So they're trying to save face overall. Because they've been a lot of people don't even want to deal with them no more. They like, hey, reparations, get the fuck out of here. We're gonna, we don't want no parts of you anymore. That type of stuff, right? Okay, so it says, good question. Here's a look at how many majority Muslim countries belong to the Commonwealth of Nations, the group of countries associated with British Crown, which includes but is not the same as a set of realms. Okay, but it says from the current Commonwealth list and data on Muslim majority countries, Muslim population share. Okay, Bangladesh, strongly Muslim majority. Brunei, Muslim majority. Malaysia, substantial Muslim majority. The Gambia, large Muslim population. Nigeria, population is roughly split. Many sources count it as Muslim majority or near majority. Sierra Leone, majority Muslim. So he's pretty much, that's what it is. He's trying to save face, trying to hold on to those little rams, those little kingdoms, because they're losing. Esau is losing right now. Look at this dude. They're losing, bro. Matter of fact, let me get one more scripture. I ain't want to keep this long. Damn it.
Blessed.
I ain't want to keep this long anyway. I just seen that like this motherfucker looking like brake lights on the ambulance. Red as hell, talking about white people. Also, lucky, I need to go into the Apocrypha. Let's get this one in the Apocrypha real quick. Ecclesiasticus 25:7. And it reads, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And that's what we're witnessing. We're witnessing the fall of Esau, Edom's kingdom. You're coming up on his 250th year, with America. I think January coming up. Most empires don't last beyond that. You got all these, EU and NATO countries that's fighting between each other, and they can't get along. The disagreements, the scripture says that can two walk together unless they be agreed. A nation divided cannot stand. A kingdom divided cannot stand. Roughly paraphrasing. So Esau, his whole shit is faltering. And then when you think about it too, when you look at those other people that's over there, like those sons, one of those sons, he probably could carry on. With them, they ain't got it. You look at the little they ain't got it, man. He don't even have it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, his fucking mama was running shit forever. You know what I'm saying? Like Queen, whatever the fuck her name was, her ass. You see, when she died, remember everybody was like, "Give us our crown jewels back. Do this." They was running out. They weren't even like, they was like, "Fuck that bitch." You know what I'm saying? Like generally, had she had passed away, like 1900s, 1800s or whatever, they would have had. What they did had this big ass ceremony for, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But when she passed away, them people, man, was like, man, fuck y'all, give us our shit back. You rummaged through all our, you got all our artifacts in your museums. You got all our diamonds. You got all our sapphires. You got all our, you got this. All the shit you stole, all the stuff that you done. So it was a lot of criticism, you know what I'm saying, from a lot of those darker nations that they ran into. So they're not doing too good on a level, national level like that, because people are starting to see the asses for who they really are. They're damn wicked, man. Like you run throughout the earth and you've been wicked as hell for the past couple of 100 years. And now the internet is on your ass and showing all the shit that you've done and all the, the treachery and bullshit that you've done to the people of those lands that you conquered. And it's just not going well for these people, man. So, I'm gonna end out there. I pray that the lesson was edifying. With that, Kwame Yasha Allah and a bubble ball.